Holyoke's Office for Community Development hosting a meeting this afternoon, launching a community needs assessment to help direct the use of over $1 million in opioid settlement funds. Western Mass News reporter Reagan Lockery was there. She now joins us live in studio with more on how it went. Reagan.
Yeah, that's right, Amanda. The public hearing was held at Holyoke Media on Suffolk Street today. Those who lived or worked with opioid addiction were invited to have lunch and hear from the mayor and his team about their plans, as well as share their own input on where that money should go.
While I recognize how hard everybody is working, people are dying. So I don't want to come off as a bully, but I also want to emphasize that these are lives, like it was said before, not statistics.
The city of Holyoke is one of the municipalities that will be receiving legal settlements the state's attorney general completed with pharmaceutical companies and opioid distributors who were found complicit in aiding the opioid crisis. The settlement meant that these companies would allocate funds directly to the state's municipalities, and the funds would be used to address harm done to residents, driven by the needs of each community.
There is no subset in the city of Holyoke that isn't impacted. We know that we have active users who may be unsheltered, either hidden or visible on our streets.
One way to really put Holyoke's opioid crisis in perspective is by looking at the rates of fentanyl in wastewater. A graph was passed out during Tuesday's session showing that the levels of fentanyl in Holyoke's wastewater stayed significantly higher than both the regional and national averages during most of 2024. For example, on July 17th, Holyoke's average was 272 NGL, while the national average was just over 44 NGL and the regional average was just over 56. Holyoke's Board of Health Director Tim Rivers saying these numbers alone show Holyoke's significant problem with opioids.
The numbers that I put on here were the actual metabolites, so this is something that went through people's bodies. So that's in our wastewater.
Rivers adds that this is something the Board of Health will be applying for to use as a monitoring tool. And in addition to city officials, about 75 to 100 members of the community filled the Holyoke media room, most of whom were representatives from nonprofits with firsthand substance abuse experience. Many of them shared their ideas for what this settlement money should be used for to aid in Holyoke's opioid crisis.
I don't know if everyone would agree here that we need a shelter here in Holyoke. Housing, also just showers, bathrooms, and people getting kicked out of the bathrooms everywhere, and detox, safe injection sites. Some places because we have needles in all the alleys.
And now, after hearing feedback during Tuesday's meeting, several residents are hopeful the community will go back to the drawing board.
Look at who is actually making the decision about this funding. And also, this is settlement money. This is not a federal grant. This is not like any other funding that any city has received.
The Office for Community Development will be responsible for the allocation and financial management of the program, and the Board of Health will be assisting with the community needs assessment. However, the Holyoke Mayor Joshua Garcia will have the final say in where the funds go. We're now reporting live in studio, Reagan Lockery for Western Mass News.